No one tells women what really happens after the divorce, but ladies, the grass is never greener.
Recently, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole after one of my regular viewers sent me a video to watch, and you know how it goes. That one video turned into 5, then 5 turned into 20. Next thing I knew, it was an hour later and I'm deep in divorce TikTok. But what I started noticing while watching those videos was very interesting, because I wasn't just watching random content. I was watching woman after woman talking about their lives post-divorce. But more importantly, talking about their regrets in getting divorced. And it wasn't
The regret is always instant. See it every time.
one or two, but a couple of dozen. They, for the most part, all had the same tone, the same energy, the same, oh shit, I think I messed up, thought process underneath all their empowerment language. So I started doing something most people don't ever bother doing. I dug a little deeper. I went back and found their older videos. You know, the ones they posted right around the time the divorce was filed. And that's when it got really interesting, because it quickly became obvious how the original story they were telling then had completely changed. At the time, they weren't leaving a good man. They weren't leaving a stable home. They weren't leaving a family. Oh no, they were escaping. They were choosing themselves.
That's how it always goes. Every divorce video I've done on this channel and the last one was I'm free, my husband won't abuse me anymore, my family's free, it's gonna be so great. And then you just watch it evolve to I miss my husband, I miss Christmas. Like, it's every time.
were finally free. They were done tolerating the bare minimum. They were stepping into their power. You've heard it all before. We all have, time and time again. But then when you fast forward 6 months, a year, maybe 2, well, now the tone of their videos is completely different. Now it's quieter. Now it's lonelier. Now it's reality. Now it's them sitting in their cars, bawling their eyes out, asking, where did all the good men go, and why don't they want me?
Because they all fled for Chad and Tyrone. Those were the men they thought were the good men, but those are the men who just want to run through you when you've already got an ex-husband and a family.
And after watching enough of those, a pattern started showing up. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Same decisions, same justifications, same outcomes. So today I thought I'd talk about those patterns that I discovered and how this can be a lesson that the grass is not always greener. We're going to break down what actually happens after the divorce, when the hype dies, when the likes stop hitting, when the Chads stop calling, when all the you go girl comments fade out, and when life hits these women right between the eyes. Because there are some truths that a lot of women don't realize until it's way too late.
The wall is undefeated.
And the first one I saw women mentioning over and over again, though not directly, they were tap dancing all around it, is how they found out pretty fast that no one else was going to tolerate what their husband did. That man they called controlling because he asked questions. That man they said was emotionally unavailable because he didn't want to argue for hours. That man she called boring because he worked, paid the bills, and then came home. Well, she's now found out he may be the last man on earth who was willing to deal with her chaos and still love her anyway. Because out here in the real world now, we men are not lining up to play cleanup crew for someone else's past. No, in fact, we're doing anything and everything we can to avoid it. Your husband had history with you. He had commitment. He had investment. But random men now, well, they've got options and zero patience and even less tolerance.
They don't want to be in a relationship with a single mom. The only thing they want to do with a single mom is be tossing ones at her to help out the poor single moms at the strip club.
The next one I saw in a lot of the videos, not all of them, but a lot of the ones that I watched, And that's how the women all claimed they were going to be strong and independent boss bitches who didn't need no man to take care of them.
But later they're crying when the alimony wasn't as much as they thought it was going to be.
Well, now, now those same women have found out that feminism doesn't pay your bills. Oh, she, her friends, and all the girlies who told her to leave told her this would be easy peasy. All the videos women make on the internet told her she'd be happier if she just left. They told her she deserved better, told her he was the problem.
Those TikTok therapists in the comments section, they are clearly all knowing because they have solved many a relationship problem, right?
But then the rent hit. Then the car broke down. Then life got real. And where were all those voices? Where were all those girlies? Gone. Gone like the wind. Funny, isn't it, how the other women on the internet will hype you into destruction, but disappear faster than accountability at a Real Wives of reunion, especially when it comes time to rebuild. Number 3 was woven in and out of some of the videos, and it's something I don't think that just divorced women need to realize, but women in general, especially all the single ones who think they have options. And that is that attention is not the same as respect. These women, before the ink was even dry on the divorce agreement, decided to go and post a few pictures, put up a little profile on one of the dating apps. And of course, the likes started rolling in. Their DMs started popping. Suddenly, they were all thinking, I've still got it. Only to find out later all those options they thought they had who were going to wife them up down the road, well, they were either Rico, Tyrone, or Chad looking for a good time for a night or two.
Yeah, I mean, dating apps are basically just a cesspool for hookups at this point. It's like, welcome to hookup culture, single mom. You shouldn't have left your husband. Dating is not the same anymore.
Or panda bears who couldn't catch a cold, let alone a woman. At first, it was great to get all that attention, but as they found out pretty soon after, a man wanting access to you or your body is not the same as a man wanting to build with you. The next one is one I think anyone who's seen these videos could spot blindfolded. And that's how the freedom they thought they had can turn into loneliness real fast. Oh, at first they love it. Feels exciting. Gets those ovaries a-tingling. No responsibilities, no expectations. No one questioning you or your bad choices. And then reality hits. Instead of coming home to your partner every night, you come home to quiet. Not just once, but night after night, for years to come.
And those cats start multiplying after a while.
There's no one to talk to, no one to cuddle up and watch a movie with, no one who will have your back when you're feeling down. These women quickly found out that once the distractions wore off, what they called empowerment started to feel like isolation. Number 5 on my list was something I think some of the divorced moms got, but a lot of them chose to live in denial about. And that's how their kids end up paying the price. Oh, they try and dress it up however they can. They're finding themselves. They're protecting their peace. But now their children are growing up in 2 homes, and they don't feel good about that. Their children now have 2 worlds, 2 completely different realities. Now those kids she swore she would die for are off with their dads for days, maybe even weeks at a time. Maybe they're even living with him permanently.
And you know what? Kids need to have a 2-parent household. I could not imagine having to do the multi-house thing with my son. I'm so grateful for the relationship that I have. But you need to stick together for the sake of your kid. Unless there is real, true abuse in that relationship, then you need to stick it out, because you made a commitment and you have to take accountability for the fact that you had a child. That child needs to grow up in a household with 2 loving parents that can be normal and respectful to each other, so they can see how to treat each other, people in a relationship later. It's so important. And yeah, you know what? They could learn that from a step parent and a happier situation, but that's so rare. So it's just stick it out. Take accountability for the fact that you've had a child and just deal with it until they're 18.
Those kids she swore would always be by her side are now off enjoying time with dad and his new wife, the one they view as their mom also. Number 6 is in the same realm, and that's when they found out that being a single mother isn't easy. It's hard, very hard, and it's not heroic by default. Oh, sure,
They love to brag about being a single mom, but it's never what they're saying it is.
women doing it out of necessity, and I have much respect for them. But choosing it and then expecting applause? Yeah, no, sis. That's not empowerment. That's your consequences coming back to haunt you. For all your bluster that it would be so much easier if he wasn't around, well, they quickly found out that not only did he do a lot more than they realized, he was the one who was able to give her the breaks she needed from time to time. Breaks that there's no one there to give her now. Number 7 is one I saw.
Yeah, they love to give up like the housewife life, to have to go and work and still be their own housewife at home anyway. They just double their responsibilities, double their stress, and wonder why they're unhappier now.
Repeatedly in so many of those videos. And that's how the women were realizing that the man they thought was easily replaceable was actually pretty rare. That loyal man, that present father, that man who worked, provided, and stayed, you know, the man who only did the bare minimum, has now been replaced by, well, nothing. Now that bare minimum doesn't look so bad, does it? Doesn't look so cheap. Now every night you wish you could have even a little bit of it, yet you know.
And you're jealous of the fact that he found a new wife, because men seem to move on and find new ones far easier than women, because we just end up, finding another lady who doesn't have a bunch of baggage.
Oh,
you are the
you
baggage
can't.
now.
You've now realized that man brought value to your life, value that a lot of women only realize after they lose it. Number 8 was one I think I saw in about 95% of the videos I watched, which is how they've realized the dating pool is not what they thought it was going to be. Oh, their girlies convinced them there were tons of guys out there. They were going to be upgrading. It would be like shooting fish in a barrel. All the good men would be lining up to wife her up. But instead, they found out they had walked into a completely different game, because men now are more selective, more cautious, and they're less willing to deal with all the drama. Men have largely walked away, and they aren't interested in dating divorced women, especially ones with additional baggage.
Even the men who are taken do not want to tolerate this stuff anymore. I certainly do not want to tolerate this stuff, and I am been in a relationship for 6 years, and man, I am glad that I do not have to be in today's dating game.
Sorry, I mean kids. Suddenly all those options aren't really options anymore, and the reality that you could and likely will end up growing old alone hits these women hard. Finally is the one that I think men do realize post-divorce, but most women don't and never will. And that's that peace is priceless. As I said, the women in particular usually didn't realize they had it until it was gone. Oh, they want that Hollywood perfect man, that Disney prince, that man who brings excitement. But now they found out that not every good man is exciting, and often the so-called exciting ones are anything but good. And that's when they figure out that a man who stays, who provides, who builds, who wants to be a partner, and who's willing to put up with them and their delusions, well, in today's world, those men are rare, rare indeed.
Yeah, if you found someone years ago, you're not going to find the same person today, for sure. And I still don't get why you would leave like a 5 to 10 to 20 year situation where you know that person has dealt with you and will deal with you and be there for you, just so you can get some new strange. Like, you know what, why don't you suggest being swingers or something? That way he can get some too, and you can try something new. I'm not that, I recommend that lifestyle anyway. But if you really are that desperate to get some new strange, then spice it up in the bedroom.
Here's the harsh truth I saw in many of the videos that I watched. The truth that is hitting these women right between the eyes. Women generally have convinced themselves and other women that stability is boring, that peace is oppression, that loyalty is weakness.
They love chaos. A video I did on my other channel was just this woman being on there like, women like bad boys. We don't want good boys. Men want good women, but women want bad men. And it's true. They don't want the consistent, peaceful life. They want chaos and to have to deal with drama. That's just how they're programmed.
That having to give as much as you get is toxic. And by the time reality corrects that thinking, the damage is already done. They're also finding out that men are paying attention now. Men are watching, and more men are deciding they're not going to be the backup plan. They're not willing to be the second act for someone who's already walked away from a good man, who's proven they are not loyal. No, those men have found peace, found tranquility, found the life they always wished they could have had, but never could with a woman. So ladies, let me close with this, and I know many of you are just seething with anger right now. If you've got a good one, a good man, not perfect, but good, you might want to start treating him like he matters. You might want to start showing him just a little bit of respect, maybe some caring. How about some appreciation? You might want to bring a little peace to his life instead of all your chaos.
Well, he is making women in the views mad right now.
Because as all the women in those videos I watched found out the hard way, the grass isn't greener on the other side.
Say it all the time.
It's just dead. So if you've got a good man, you better step up and fight to keep him. Because once a good man is done, he's not going to argue. He's not going to chase. And he sure as hell isn't going to beg. He's just going to be gone. Mm-hmm. And the replacements you thought you'd easily find have already been found and locked up by other women. Just like your ex was once he got free of you.
So the lesson here, as he said, is don't leave a good situation. Be content with what you have. Perfection doesn't exist. There is no perfect man, just as there is no perfect woman. As long as you give us peace, we accept you for your flaws and any of that. You need to just do the same for men. Don't get bored. We don't get bored of you unless you gain a ton of weight. Then maybe a little bit, but that's a story for another day. So if you like that video, please hit subscribe and the little dingy button so you know when it's time to hang out again. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out.